October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and my next guest and her organization are doing all they can to raise awareness about this illness and assisting those who suffer from cancer. Alda Coelho is my guest. She leads a group called Aldas Angels. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on your show.
Aldas Angels, how did it start? Tell me about it.
Sure. So this is my second year with the foundation. I am actually a two-time breast cancer survivor, and I feel that I'm blessed, and I thank God that I'm here, and I wanted to do something to give back, to the local community. So it's always been something very dear to my heart that I wanted to do, that, if I'd be a survivor, that my way of saying, thank you, I'm here, is to help our local community. So we started a foundation called Aldas Angels, and basically our foundation is to help women that are struggling with financial burdens. It is very costly. I myself know what it's like. If you don't, I was blessed to have, a good job and insurance, but there are still little things that the insurance companies don't pick up. My doctors are at Mass General, and the cost of parking is not something that the insurance will pick up for you. Some prescriptions they pick up, but you always have those co-payments that kill you, and so there's a lot, that goes into this horrible disease that you face, that, walk in those shoes that some people might not realize all the expenses. So our foundation is dedicated to help families, and it's all local community. I work with the Mass General. They're a sponsor of mine. We give money to Mass General. We also work with the YWCA with their Encore program. This will be our second year working with both organizations. And what I do is, I specifically tell them that this is to help the local families for whatever it is that they need. If it's a mortgage payment that they can't make because they're out of work, because now you figure, they're not working, they're not going to get a paycheck. So, it could be for that. It could be for transportation, if they need money to get them, back and forth, because, sometimes that's a lot of people, from my understanding, when I spoke with, the YWCA, they have a lot of problems where these women don't have the money, to get to their, it could be to their appointment, it could be for a mammogram, whatever it could be, and they end up missing it because they just don't have the transportation to get there. So basically what my foundation does is, we want to give money to help these people so you never miss an appointment. If you're struggling financially, whatever it is that you need, we want to help. And this is, it's my way, with my group, which I have a great group of the angels, I would call them. Everybody donates their time. We all have full-time jobs, but everybody gives 1,000,000% to make sure that, we can help each woman that's struggling with this horrible disease.
Now let's so we all understand, the donations you make to Mass General, for instance, they have a fund apparently
Yes,
that money
they do.
goes into,
Yep.
to help people
Yes.
who may not be able to afford all those small expenses that, when they're added up, they become a big headache.
Yes, and I basically, like I said, this is my second year working with Mass General, and I have specified where I want that money to go to with Mass General. So they have started a fund for transportation there, because we find that transportation is a big issue with people getting up to Mass General. So they have started that. And the Encore program that I work with the YWCA, with Gail Forts, actually I have donated money as well for transportation, or, whatever they need. That money is dedicated to the local families to help with whatever financial burdens that they're dealing with.
Any idea how many people you've helped in these 2 years?
Honestly, Jim, I don't know. I never, think about that. I just think that I want to help as many people as I can. That's my goal. You know what I mean? If I can put a smile on someone's face and have taken off that, financial burden, that gives me great joy.
Have you given dozens of grants, or 10, less than 10, or more than 10?
As far as what we do is, as far as grants, what I do is I write a check to the both Mass General and the YWCA, and they use it for however they need it. So
it's probably a wise thing to have those agencies make those
absolutely
decisions.
They make the decisions. I just say, this is for your program. This is where I'd like it to go, and I'd like it to be to the local community. Not like some big organizations that, you're giving money, you don't know where that money is going. So I've always said that when I started my foundation, I wanted it to be to help our local community in whatever way we could to do it.
You raise money to help those living with cancer and their families. What's the next fundraiser?
My next fundraiser is going to be October 7th at the United Fishermen's Club. It's a wine tasting event. I have Douglas Wine, Velosa Spirits, Saliva Wines, which have sponsored my event. This is the second event that I'm having, and they've been kind again to sponsor my event, so they'll be there again this year.
And tickets are?
Tickets are $35 a person.
Where do you get them?
You can actually go on my website. I'm on Facebook. I'm on website. You can text message me. And, you can purchase them online at the website, $35 per ticket, or reach out to me and I'll come and meet you wherever you are.
What's the web address?
It's www.aldasangels.com.
All right. You've touched some of these, you've answered some of this before, but there are all kinds of expenses associated with cancer that on the surface you might not think about. As you mentioned, travel, you are helping folks with their travel expenses. But there are others, I'm sure, that you faced when you went through your situation, your treatment.
It's very costly. I mean, you don't realize it until you're actually in those shoes and walking those shoes, how expensive, having a disease like that could be. Now you're facing where, if you're a couple, a married couple, and now there's one income coming in where, you have to stay home because, you're dealing with, going for treatments. And a lot of people, depending on how bad their cancer is, or the stage, I should say, that some people can't work. So you face a lot of challenges that come actually when you're dealing with this.
You are a two-time cancer survivor. What have you learned about this disease? And I think that people who have cancer probably know what I'm talking about. Number one, it's relentless, can be. And number two, early detection is very, very important, no matter what type of cancer you have.
Absolutely. Yeah. Early detection, I can't stress that enough. Make your appointments. Your mammograms, don't miss them, because if they catch it right in the beginning, it's so, they've come a long way, I have to say, compared to when, back in the day when you heard about breast cancer, all you thought about was, oh my God, I'm going to die. There's nothing that they can do. But now it's to the point where if you catch it early enough, they can do so much for you for this disease. So I can't, stress it enough to make sure that you never miss an appointment and check up, your mammograms, make sure that you're always on top of that.
My guest is Alda Coelho of Aldas Angels, an organization committed to helping other families deal with cancer. And do you counsel other folks, Alda? Do you sit down and talk with folks? You probably don't do that professionally, but I mean, you must do it.
I talk with a lot of women that actually, that will, if I'm at an event somewhere, women will come and speak with me. I definitely, speak with them. I tell them about my story. They'll tell me about their story, what they're going through, and we can relate to one another. So I try to give as much. Not everybody is the same, and not everybody handles it the same way. And, there could be different stages of it, but in the long run, we're all walking those shoes and fighting for the same thing. So, yes, I do enjoy speaking with other women about it.
There's a lot of groups helping people with cancer, and well, there should be, of course. Do you see Alda's Angels' role expanding at all at some point? Are you comfortable where you are? Would you like it to be bigger?
I would love for it to be bigger. That is my goal. I mean, my goal is someday, to really grow with it and, travel the world and help women that are going through this. I mean, men too. I can't exclude the men because men do get breast cancer as well. But, to help as many families as I could, I would love to do that, yes.
Do you do this by yourself, or do you have a committee of people, or how does it work?
I have a committee, which I call my angels, which they are my angels. We have a committee of probably about, I have 20 volunteers that are my angels that do help me put these events together. It's a lot to put an event together, and everybody gives me 1,000,000% of their time. We all, like I said, we all have full-time jobs, but we do this on the side because it's very dear to our heart and very dear to their heart, and helping as many people as we can. So yeah, it is. It's a lot.
So how many? 10 people?
I have probably about 10 people that stick with me, and then I have my volunteers, a lot of people that will volunteer for that night to help out for that event. But yeah, I have my committees of 10 full staff, I should say, after work that are committed.
Friends mostly, or family?
Friends and family, yes, definitely.
Okay. All right. Tell us one more time about the upcoming fundraiser. When, where, and how can you get tickets?
Sure. It's October 7th at the United Fishermen's Club in New Bedford. Tickets at $35 per person. And you can reach out to me either on Facebook or my website, which is www.aldasangels.com. Or you can text me on Facebook or reach me on Facebook, Aldas Angels. You will see me on Facebook.
I sense there's a real camaraderie among people who are cancer survivors. I mean, I think you see it a lot.
Yep.
You see it at the annual events, the walks for cancer. You see it a lot, that people who have survived cancer, they feel blessed, for sure. Now, you've said
Absolutely.
that. But they also feel a kinship with other people.
Yes, you do.
Talk about that.
I just, like I had mentioned, I'm so blessed, and I thank God for being here. And, and when you've walked those shoes and you've been through that, you look at life so totally different.
Yeah.
And, other people that gone through the same shoes, I mean, any type of cancer that they go through, like you mentioned, it doesn't matter. It's like we all can relate to each other, and we know that fight that we had to fight and that battle that we had to, never give up. So it is a great connection that we have with each other when, you meet another cancer survivor. They know without not saying in so many words what it's like, to walk those shoes. So yeah, I can't explain it. I mean, it's just.
Well, no, you have explained it.
It's just. I thank God every day to be here and be able to do this.
Aldas Angels, the fundraiser is October 7th at the United Fishermen's Club. Tickets are $35, and you can purchase tickets on their website, aldasangels.com. And will there be any tickets at the door?
Yes, we'll have tickets at the door.
It is a wine tasting?
It's a wine tasting with hors d'oeuvres. Plenty of food. You don't need to eat before you come. We're going to have like 9 vendors there. 3 hours of wine tasting. We're going to have auctions, Chinese auction, live auction, lots of great stuff that we're going to have.
Little music?
Music. We have a DJ. So yeah, there'll be dancing afterwards. So come on down. It's for a great cause. We would love your support.
Her name is Alda Coelho. She's the organizer of Aldas Angels, a group committed to helping people living with cancer and their families. Thank you for stopping by, Alda.
Thank you, Jim, for having me.